Hey, Kris and Larry family. So today I'm going to show you how we put together and create our acrylic printed earrings that we have in our shop. I've got some to press, so watch our process today. Okay, so I've got Photoshop open. I have a piece of scrap acrylic that we're using. This is an 11 by about 4 3/4. So I put by 5, 11 by 5 in here. And it's just over 11, so the paper is not even going to fit all the way to the edge. But like I said, this is a leftover scrap piece that I had. So we're going to go ahead and measure that out. Changed our preset there on Photoshop. So now I know this is what I'm working with. Okay, so I opened up, this is our hogs, one of our hog drawings. We created this. This is actually a seamless file. So I'm going to take this file and I'm moving it on into, this is that piece of acrylic. We'll size this down so that it fits better on here and duplicate it so that it is covering that white acrylic piece. And let's go ahead and duplicate this whole thing. And because this is seamless, we can just move this over and it fits right in here. I'm actually gonna move it just a hair over because it did have a little line there. Now, I'm not worried about this edge, but we'll go ahead and do one more copy on that and duplicate that layer again. Like I said, we're not gonna end up cutting all the way down. And I think because these are earrings, ooh, let's slide that over just a hair because it's got a line. There we go. I think what I'll go ahead and do is duplicate all of these again, and we'll size everything down. Okay, so now I've got this pattern ready to go. So I'm gonna go ahead and print this over on our sublimation printer. So we have a sublimation printer that has special ink, special paper in it, and we're gonna be heat pressing this design onto the white acrylic. So let's go ahead and print this out. And I should already have, no, it's got a program error, so I've got to figure out what's going on here. Okay, so that was an easy fix. I actually had a Epson screenshot opened up, something from the printer down below here, and I closed that out and I found it. So because I want it to look exactly like this, I want to go ahead and mirror the image, and it's already check marked. We use this setting a lot in this. I'm actually using an 8.5 by 11 paper, so we'll change that over. I want my paper to be my high premium matte because that's what sublimation paper is. And hit OK, and we're going to go ahead and get that printed out. Now it's going to tell me it's going to clip it off the edge probably. Yep. We tell it to proceed. It was right at the edge of that. So we're going to get this printed and then get ready to press. Okay, so I'm at one of our presses. We've got several presses, but this one we're going to go ahead and we're going to change its temperature down to 360 degrees. And we're going to do it for a minute. So we'll reset that timer. Gotta find the right one in here. Right there is timer. And we're gonna do that for a whole minute and let that heat up. Now I've gone ahead, I've got a cutting board here, a big cutting board. This is just something that I like to do because once this acrylic gets hot, it'll warp slightly. So we're gonna, once we pull it out, we'll put it on this cutting board and put a big book on top of it. So I've got a couple heavyweight books here, but this is going to take a few minutes to heat up. Once this heats up, I've got a piece of paper down already. We'll put the acrylic down with their pattern on top, and I'll show you all this, and then another piece of paper and let it press. Okay, so we are all heated up. We're at 360 degrees. It's set for 50 pounds. Of weight onto it with 60 seconds. So we're gonna pull this over. Let me grab the piggy one here. All right, so this is the pig print. I've got my board slid out right now. We've got a piece of paper down because we're going to protect the pad that way. I've got, this is my acrylic taped to my design. We're actually going to flip this over. It's taped really well, so it's not going anywhere. And then we're going to put another piece of paper right here on top. Super easy. And this prevents any ink leakage or anything, and I slide and lock. Now at this point, all I do is I hit my button and it presses down. Now we're going to let this go through the 60 seconds and then we'll pull this acrylic out. Okay, so what's going to happen now is once this hits the 0, this will rise up on its own. There it goes. Okay, we pull this whole thing out. Move that paper off. Really need heat gloves for this. As a matter of fact, let me grab some heat gloves real quick. Okay, I've got my heat gloves on. We're just going to pop this whole thing to right here. And I'm going to put a couple heavy books on it. Now what happens is, the reason we have to put the heavy books on is because it warps. Now you're in my wonderful studio right now. I've got my freeze dry machines and packing equipment and everything behind it. But acrylic will warp when it heats up. So we need to make sure that it lays flat. So we'll give it a few minutes and then we'll peel the paper. Now paper does stick a lot of times to acrylic, and that's okay. We're just gonna rinse that, scrub that off. Okay, I've gone ahead and flipped this one over. It's cooled down where you can touch it at this point. And we're gonna peel this off. Let me peel this and I'll show you what it looks like. Now I did warp a little bit. It did not set all the way down, which is okay because like I said, we're cutting earrings on this. So we're just making sure that we've got some design. We'll be cutting some pig tags out of each of this. I'll just avoid this. All right, so I'm sitting at our big 80-watt laser. You can see I've got earrings and other things already cut out that I still have to put together. But we're gonna go ahead and put these ones together. So you can see I've got my lamb design, I've got my goat design, I've got one of my pig designs. So we're gonna put the pig in. I've got a computer that's hooked up to it, so I'm gonna get this started up and we'll go from there. All right, so I'm in Lightburn. I am on my USB stick that I brought in. It's the cow tags. This is actually off of my main computer, so we moved it over on a USB. So let's open that up, and you can see we've got little earring tags. They're 1.5 inches tall. So I'll get these all lined up and then I'll show you it cutting. Okay, so I've got the earrings on the screen of what I want. We're gonna go ahead and get these cut. Gotta change my my power and whatnot here. I know that I need this to be a 15-second, and I know I need this to be max power of 80. This is an 80-watt acrylic, Chinese made Beaver, and it's a workhorse. I love it. We're enjoying this one a lot, but this is a CO2 laser, and that's what you need to be able to cut acrylic. You cannot use a diode except for specific, very limited acrylics that diodes can cut, but the CO2 is what we have to use. Okay, well, green light's on, which means that it's green to go. You can go ahead and open it up. See, it's got some smoke still coming out of it. Let that siphon back out. Oh, and I don't have my thing lined up correctly. You can see it cut into my side. But there are the earrings that we did cut. You can hear the machine is running still, the air. We're gonna go ahead and pull these out. Okay, so these cutouts are done. So what we're gonna do now is put fixtures on them, get photographs, put them on cards, and get them into our inventory. So these turned out super duper cute. Now you can see I did cut off the edge. Remember I said where the acrylic was a little bit longer, and I cut into the side of my thing. My laser's not centered. I have to recenter. But these turned out awesome, and they will be on our shop. We've also got the lamb ones cut out, and right now it's cutting, I don't know if you can see in there, it's cutting the goat, the market goat. So those will be on our shop as well. So keep your eyes open for that. Thank you so much for watching our video. If you have any questions, just leave them in the comments below. We'll see you on the next video. Bye for now.